Well, hello. And I would just like to ask you guys to introduce yourselves and to tell us what you do.
Hi, I'm Lauren Harris. I handle all the social media here at Chapman Cultural Center.
And my name is Steve Wong. I'm Director of Marketing. Handle a wide range of communications for the Chapman Cultural Center and the 9 partners here.
How does your work involve digital environments such as social media and physical technology such as, computers and other machines? How exactly, do you use these in your daily work?
I handle all of the Facebook, so it's pretty prevalent in videos and sharing information and all of the events between the 9 partners here. I even go so far as to use my cell phone to check open rates on emails that we send out and where they click through and
Right.
buying tickets. So there's a lot. It's very deep into what I do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Using social media and digital media has been something of a learning experience for us here at Chapman. We are just turning 5 years old, and many of us didn't have a background in digital communications. And so for many of us, it's been a learning experience, and it's been a good one. We have made a lot of progress. We still, because of our audiences, have to make a balance between traditional communications and with the newer technologies of digital and social media and those sort of things. And Mark's done a great job in helping us to make that transition to stay relevant to a younger audience.
Right. You say that the most prevalent age group is 35 to 44. So, of course, younger audiences are more likely to respond to digital methods of reaching out. So how does that prevalent age group of 35 to 44, how do they react to the use of things like Facebook?
They both are used differently. I guess that's more of an age with children, so there's gearing it towards camps, so you just have to speak to that group versus the other one. Age 35 and under, when they hear of somebody, the first thing they do is go to Facebook and search for it. 35 and over goes to Google and searches for it.
Right.
And it's just being correct in each of those and how to get that information across.
That makes sense.
We do struggle constantly with trying to balance out the communications effort overall, because we do see the value of using social media and digital communications, but we have to balance out that many of our patrons are older citizens who just don't use a computer. They just don't do it. And so depending on what we're doing, the exhibit, the concert, the play, the program, we will have to find some balance between using social media and more traditional forms of communications, be it advertising and press releases, just any number of things we might do. That is a constant thing that we have to balance out here, because our audience is traditionally an older audience, but we are trying very hard, especially through social media, to reach a younger audience.
Right. That's very interesting. So, I understand that you use Facebook as one form of digital media. What other, tools and platforms and such do you use to communicate with whoever, but especially younger audiences using technology, aside from Facebook?
I think the number is some ridiculous, astounding, over 5,000 social media sites and ways to share things. And there's obviously the top 5 and 10 and 20. But we do have a small presence on Twitter, for those who do have it.
Right.
We have Flickr, we have Google+, the ones that you can kind of think of right off the bat. And Constant Contact, which is our email service. It's a list building that can feed into Facebook, and I can make people join through there. They can join through text, join through QR codes. There's a lot of very free, accessible things to do in order to push it. And so then you've got everybody across the board, no matter how they get there.
Right. But technology will continue to improve and change. So how do you think you'll adapt to those changes in the future?
Well, as an institution, by the very nature of what we do, we are a creative environment. We try to keep an open mind to just about anything and everything. So I think that will take care of itself, that we don't dismiss anything. We just, with new technologies that are available, new ideas, we're open to them and we're willing to try them out. We don't always embrace them, but we're certainly willing to consider them.
Right. Do you also have a website that is specifically for the Chapman Cultural Center? Not just a page on Facebook, but an actual website such as chapmanculturalcenter.com.
That's exactly what we have. It's
okay.
What you said. It is a large and complex website. And it's even made larger by the fact that all 9 of our partners link into it. So you have this institution, the Chapman Cultural Center has a website, which is, for lack of a better word, the master website. And then each partner has a website, and they all link together. Just with ours, though, we use a great deal for a community calendar, which is very extensive. Probably the most important aspect is the way to buy tickets here to our performances. So yes, our website is very extensive.
We've established that you have a Facebook page, you have a presence on Flickr and other social media websites, and you have an actual website. So how effective or important is your website to your work and reaching out to the community with respect to your other forms, like your presence on other social media websites? Is your website more important or more effective? Does that have certain shortcomings that a site like Facebook can make up for? How exactly does that pan out?
Let me answer one piece of that, is that right now we're going through something that we need to make our online presence more important to the general public. Right now our box office is having to cut back hours. We are a nonprofit organization, and so money is always tight for us, and we need to find a way to cut costs and be more effective. One way we are looking at, we haven't set anything in stone yet, but one way we're looking at is to try to get our patrons to buy their tickets more online. It takes less manpower to have somebody go online to buy tickets rather than call us or come in to the box office itself. So we are going in that direction with a new effort to encourage more and more people to buy online.
Right.
Is that we do occasionally a survey asking people, how did you hear about the program that you're at today? When you come to a concert or a play, you might get a little written survey as an audience member, and we ask you, how did you hear about that? For the longest time, the answer is almost always the same. It was always through the local newspaper. It's always been the dominant way to get information. Recently, we have seen a huge increase with social media. It has really gotten on our map or our radar, you might say. For a long time, it was hardly noticeable, but now it is very noticeable. It is rising very quickly, becoming more and more prevalent and important to us because we're seeing the results. People are telling us, that's how I heard about it.
Right. Okay. Cool. What exactly do you think are the advantages of using digital media and technology like that in your work as opposed to pre-digital forms like print and stuff like that? How exactly? I understand that it appeals to younger audiences, but how else does using digital media and social media enhance your work and enhance the work you can get done?
Maybe on the return on investment, it's almost basically free other than my time. Just sit and do it. I think we all know it takes about 7 seconds to update a stated Facebook status. And I think each like you have is equivalent to like $2.43 or something. But that is free, and I can hit them 1,800 people anytime I want. If I want to send out 400 postcards, it's postcard fees and printing fees. And I'm not guaranteed that those 400 households are going to turn around and buy something from us or come to a camp or whatever it may be.
Right.
So there's a little flexibility in that you just throw it out there, and what you get is what you get. It's good.
Money is a big driving force for us. Because the cost for postage and direct mail, for printing, for advertising and newspapers, for radio broadcasting and billboards, those costs are all pretty high, especially for a nonprofit. And so going digital is very attractive to us. But I really can't emphasize that we are in a state of transition. We are somewhat unique in that we deal with the arts. We deal with a conservative community usually. So again, it is very important that we move forward, but we move forward cautiously because we have to continue our relationships with our past audience, or our current audiences, and not alienate them and not ignore them. So we have to speak with different voices of different people.
Right. Okay. Of course, older, I mean age-wise, older audiences in that sense may not be as responsive to using technology as we've established. So aside from that, what are other disadvantages of using social media?
Well, I would like to think that there are none. Because it's my job, but I don't see the downfall of it in any side limit.
Okay.
Not really a downfall, just maybe an observation from a different generation, is that digital is virtual. I mean, it's on your computer screen. And many of us enjoy holding paper. I mean, we enjoy having a library of physical materials. And so it's not really a downside, it's just the changing of times. And it's typical for some people. Some people just feel more comfortable to pick up the daily newspaper and see that ad, and they can clip it out and carry it with them, as opposed to it's just as easy to pull up that e-bus on your cell phone and just keep it and refer to it there. I mean, it's doing the same thing, just different media.
Right. So, what advice would you have for adults or people our age who are still completing their college education and are considering going the kind of work that you are in right now? What advice would you have for them?
I don't know how the programs are geared towards now, but I think anything that you can do in the web-based world and make a presence of yourself is fantastic. It's everybody can do it. If you can do it well, then stick to it. I think that is where a lot of our information is going. I think we're not going to have as much print one day. I think that we all will have smartphones. I think that's just the way the direction the world is going.
I would add to that one thing that she mentioned is when she said, and do it well. That's one of my complaints about what I see a lot of times, that a lot of stuff, because everybody can do it, some of it is frankly not very good out there. And my advice to people like students today is, yes, keep moving forward, but do it well.
Right. And is there anything else you want to say or add on to this interview that we haven't covered already?
No, I don't think so. I think that you just have to remember that there's a lot of people in this world, and there are a lot of ways to get information across, and you have to pick and choose and figure out which ones are the right ways to do it.
Right.
I think, again, that's very true, that digital media is great, it's the way of the future, but it's still communications.
Right.
It's still communications. You have to look at all your options out there and apply the correct medium to the opportunity that you have. And nothing will ever take place of just getting your message across in whatever way you need to do it.
You just want people to talk about you.
Right.
And however they get the information to talk about you first.